Your brain can erase breakfast before your morning has even truly begun. Someone asks what you ate, and suddenly your mind has no answer at all. You remember old problems while today's breakfast has already disappeared. This feels strange because only a few hours have passed since you ate it. Many men wonder if these moments mean their memory is becoming weaker. Psychology reveals that something completely different may be happening. Your breakfast may not have vanished from memory after you finished eating. The truth is, your brain may never have stored the experience properly. The reason begins with where your attention was while breakfast happened. Understanding this can change how you see these strange memory gaps forever. Your brain treats breakfast as a routine because the experience rarely feels completely new. The same foods and familiar surroundings can make each morning feel like the one before. Familiar experiences require less attention because your brain already knows what to expect. This allows you to eat breakfast while your awareness quietly focuses on something else. Psychologists describe this process as automatic thinking during familiar daily routines. Your brain can complete simple actions without giving every small detail conscious attention. This explains why you can finish eating without clearly remembering the experience afterward. Memory becomes stronger when something unusual gives your attention a reason to stay focused. A breakfast during vacation may remain clear because the entire experience feels different. An ordinary breakfast at home can disappear because nothing strongly separates it from others. Your brain does not need to preserve every repeated detail from routines it already understands. It saves attention for experiences that seem more important or useful during the coming day. This means your breakfast may receive very little attention before memory even begins forming. But familiar routines alone cannot explain why some men forget breakfast almost every morning. The deeper answer begins with where their thoughts travel while their body continues eating. Your body may still be eating breakfast, while your mind has already entered the rest of the day. Before the first coffee is finished, your thoughts may already be preparing for problems ahead. Work responsibilities can pull your attention away before breakfast has even reached your memory. Your mind may replay yesterday while preparing answers for conversations that have not happened. Psychologists call this prospective thinking because your brain constantly imagines what comes next. Future thoughts can feel more important than the simple experience happening directly before you. Your brain naturally gives more attention to information that might help you handle future demands. Breakfast becomes background activity while your thoughts begin solving problems somewhere else. You can finish an entire meal while barely noticing the flavors or the food disappearing from view. Without enough attention, the experience receives fewer mental connections that support later recall. This is why trying harder to remember breakfast afterward may sometimes bring back almost nothing. The memory cannot become strong when your attention barely noticed the experience in the first place. For many men, this future-focused thinking becomes especially powerful during the early morning hours. Their minds begin carrying responsibilities before their bodies have fully started the working day. And this reveals a deeper mental burden that can make ordinary mornings disappear from memory. Some men wake up carrying a mental list of responsibilities before their feet even touch the floor. Their minds begin sorting work problems and family duties before breakfast has even started. Every unfinished task demands a small piece of the limited attention available that morning. Psychologists call this cognitive load because the mind can only manage so much information at once. The heavier this mental load becomes, the less attention remains for simple, everyday experiences. Breakfast requires little effort, so the brain can easily move its attention toward bigger problems. You continue eating normally while your working memory becomes occupied with everything coming next. A deadline can feel more important to your brain than remembering what is sitting on your plate. Financial worries can also consume the mental space needed to notice ordinary morning details. Even peaceful mornings can become planning sessions when the mind feels responsible for too much. The meal slowly disappears into the background, while urgent thoughts remain at the center of focus. This can explain why forgotten breakfasts appear more often during demanding periods of life. The forgotten meal may simply reveal how much information your mind was already carrying that day. But this does not automatically mean your memory has suddenly become weaker or less reliable. The surprising truth is your brain may be filtering these ordinary moments for a useful reason. Forgetting breakfast can sometimes reveal how carefully your brain chooses what deserves memory. Your memory was never designed to preserve every ordinary detail from every morning of your life. Instead, your brain gives more space to experiences that feel new, meaningful, useful, or surprising. A familiar breakfast offers little new information because your brain has experienced it before. This allows your memory to ignore repeated details while protecting information that matters more. Psychologists describe adaptive forgetting as the brain reducing access to less useful information. Think of your memory as an editor that keeps important scenes and removes unnecessary repetition. This is why a strange breakfast on vacation can remain clear in your mind for several years. Meanwhile, hundreds of ordinary breakfasts can slowly blend together because they feel too similar. Your brain remembers distinctive experiences because they provide stronger clues for later recall. An ordinary breakfast may leave few clues because nothing about the experience demanded attention. What feels like weak memory may sometimes be your brain efficiently filtering repeated information. This does not mean every memory problem should be ignored or automatically explained by attention. But forgetting routine details can happen when your brain gives priority to more meaningful events. Once you understand this, the solution becomes less about forcing memory and more about attention. Remembering breakfast becomes easier when you give your brain a reason to notice the experience. Looking at your food for a few seconds can help your attention register what you are about to eat. Your memory becomes stronger when the present moment receives enough attention before thoughts move. Eating without checking your phone can prevent outside information from stealing your awareness. Noticing the smell of your coffee can create another mental connection your brain may retrieve later. Paying attention to flavor and texture can also make an ordinary breakfast feel more distinctive. Psychologists explain that richer experiences often create stronger pathways for later memory recall. Even a small change in your breakfast routine can make the morning stand apart from similar days. Trying a different food can give your attention something new enough to notice and remember later. Sharing breakfast with someone can also make the experience feel more meaningful to your brain. The goal is not to memorize every detail, because that would make a simple meal feel like work. Instead, you are giving your mind enough awareness to experience breakfast before the day takes over. Reducing distractions allows working memory to remain connected with what is happening right now. When attention stays present, the brain receives more information that can become a lasting memory. And this simple change reveals something much deeper about where your mind spends each morning. The next time breakfast disappears from memory, do not immediately assume your mind is failing. Remember that attention decides what becomes memorable long before you ever try to recall it. Your brain protects meaningful experiences while familiar mornings can quietly fade away. Sometimes a forgotten breakfast simply shows where your attention was living during the meal. Your body may have been eating while your mind was already preparing for everything ahead. Understanding this can replace frustration with a clearer picture of how your memory works. You begin seeing ordinary forgetfulness as a clue about attention rather than instant failure. The forgotten meal becomes a small window into how selectively your brain experiences each day. Sometimes what your mind forgets can reveal exactly what your attention considered important. Subscribe for more psychology behind the strange everyday behaviors that many men experience.